I'm in my shade garden here, and well, no surprise, as I mentioned just a moment ago, crotons all around me. We have a little threadleaf type that's become pretty popular, and this one has really done well for me in this hot summer that we've just come through. Let's go to Chandor Gardens, see what Stephen Chambly has in his shade gardens. We saw it earlier this year. Let's see how it looks now.
You first saw this shade garden in late February, and this was a garden that was in transition. It was originally planted as a sun garden, and because the crepe myrtles had matured, it matured into a shade garden. So we had to replant some things, and we're going to talk about how it worked out. As you look across it, we've got some components into it. The background is made of oak leaf hydrangeas. We chose mondo grass for right around the crepe myrtle trunks to form a little carpet of green there. So as we've gone around, we have our background of that. We put in a little ajuga over here for a low ground cover. It'll eventually form a solid base in here. Little blue flowers on it in spring. And as we go back to the deepest, darkest corner, we put our most shade adapted plants. Japanese holly fern in front, and we have some leatherleaf mahonia behind that. For a little color and interest, we worked in some helleborus here around some rocks. We found a little Buddha statue to add a little central element to that, and we were fortunate enough to have a couple of logs of some local petrified wood to accent with that and let our plants grow around as kind of a foil for them. Anyway, I just wanted you to take a look at, and one thing that was in place before we started this garden that we kept was our stand of columbine over here. And I expect our columbine to spread here and there, and as it spreads through the garden, we'll just selectively pull out where we don't want it here and there. But it should kind of form in and out, in and through the oak leaf hydrangea to be a really nice effect for the garden.
If you have a shade garden, you probably have a lot of ferns. I have a lot of ferns. I have a lot of wood ferns. I have a few holly ferns. They're not as winter hardy as I'd want them to be. In the summertime, I bring out tropical ferns like this queen fern. This one is one of many, many. There are hundreds of sports of Boston fern, the old-fashioned Boston fern. This is one of the biggest of all of them. I don't know if I can get it back in the greenhouse this winter. This one, neatly, is starting to produce little baby ferns. The spores are on the backs of the leaves. I get people asking, Neil, are those bugs? How come they're so symmetrical? Ferns are a passion, and Palmer Ferndale is coming up in a moment. You're going to love that.
It's apple season, and what better way to enjoy an apple than in a dessert? Today I'm going to show you how to make an apple custard tart.